Good morning. Whew, it's a little bit brisk out this morning. It's about 15 degrees. We're gonna go down and do some trimming. Deer season's over. We have some brush to cut, some invasive stuff to cut. We're gonna go down and do it today. It's a perfect time to do it. Temperature's perfect. I gotta load up the Can-Am and we're gonna head down. So one of the things I planted this year, which despite the conditions, this stuff was tremendous, is this sorghum. It actually got really tall, and the only reason I planted it, because it's not really a food source, or it is not a food source for deer, is for cover. So when I'm coming into my property, I have to walk right by these spots, and I have my clover right here. So it's kind of a screening for me, so I didn't spook deer out as I was walking in. As you can see, it grew quite well. It's starting to bend over and take the wind and the snow is taking its toll, but it served its purpose. This is another area that we did a lot of planning on this last winter. We frost seeded this all to switchgrass, or the perimeters of these little food plots we frost seeded to switchgrass. It worked out really well down here. The switchgrass, as you can see, came in pretty good. This is just the first year. It's 2 foot tall, so hopefully next year it'll be 3 to 4 foot tall and a little bit thicker. We might not keep all of it. We're probably gonna put some of it back into food plot, but I just planted the whole perimeter to this switchgrass, mainly again for security and cover for the deers that are in these food plots, that we can get around here and get into our tree stands and get down to our camp and do what we got to do to maybe harvest some deer. This is a nice natural travel corridor for these deer to come up through. We got the red osier dogwood, which is a preferred winter browse for the deer. So we're going to trim all the stuff out around these dogwoods. We do have a lot of gray dogwood, and the gray dogwood is fine, but there's a lot of it up in here, and we're just going to cut a bunch of that out. There's some autumn olive. There's some buckthorn. So we're going to try to get rid of the buckthorn, the autumn olive, and a lot of the gray dogwood. So I need to get working because it's getting chilly. So the harder I work, the warmer I'll be. Yeah, we got an oak in here. We're going to leave that oak. Oaks hold their leaves for quite some time. They actually will hold most of them until they start to bud out in the spring, and then the leaves will drop off. We're going to cut some of this red osier back. We'll pile this stuff up, the deer can browse on it. We're going to cut some of it back so it sprouts better. It's getting a little leggy. So we've got numerous wild roses in here. And I'll tell you what, they suck to cut. I mean, you get stuck on these things. Most of you guys know what I'm talking about. So where I can, I take all this brush that I've been cutting, I put it in piles. It's really good for the rabbits. They like to hide underneath there, keeps them safe from predators, especially when you throw in a layer of these wild roses. We take and we put these brush piles all up, and then we can come in here and do some rabbit hunting eventually, and it's always good to have some rabbits too. So here's a serviceberry tree. We're not gonna cut this down. These are one of the first trees to flower in the spring, and they produce a berry that's really beneficial to the wildlife. So we're just going to trim all the brush around it, take away all the competition, and hopefully it'll produce berries for years to come. Serviceberry. Another thing I like doing is leaving little pockets in this brush with some overhanging branches, piled brush in front of it, in the hopes that the deer will find this a good place to bed. I know they like to bed on this hillside, and I know that this is the, I guess, leeward side. The wind comes over the hill like this, and the deer are protected down here. So we got a lot of the stuff trimmed out that we want to get trimmed out. Good morning. It was a good morning. All right, so we're gonna head back over to the tent. One more project to do.